California State University Stanislaus underwent a 2-year self-study process from 2016 to 2018.
The entire campus engaged in some type of self-study to think about how we could improve the work that we do here on campus.
The self-study leveraged the work of 3 bodies, including the Presidential Transition Team, the University Strategic Planning Council, and the university's WASC Steering Committee. The Presidential Transition Team, with 17 members, conducted a series of 16 forums capturing students, faculty, staff, alumni, university boards and councils, the Stockton community, and the community at large.
President Ellen Jun wanted to help, in essence, acclimate her to our campus, encompassing the history of our campus, and also getting feedback for any visions or directions that the campus wanted to have her leadership directing in that way.
The University's Strategic Planning Council, comprised of 26 members, conducted a SWOT analysis with more than 40 in-person consultation sessions with committees and a series of 4 open forums.
Early stages of the SPC's work concentrated on data gathering and information. We reviewed past State strategic plans and the process and committees that were used to develop them.
All membership was fully engaged in the process. It was quite remarkable to witness how much everybody on the committee cared about the university and the strength of the strategic plan.
The WASC Steering Committee, an 18-member body, focused its component of self-study around the institution's performance on the 39 criteria for review under the WASC Senior College and University Standards,
and took that opportunity to conduct a 5-stage self-study.
The first stage involved distributing a CFR survey to key stakeholder groups, including student governance, faculty governance, and other leadership bodies.
And provide us some information on their views as to how we're doing on those CFRs.
The second stage involved follow-up discussion sessions with 25 key stakeholder groups regarding the CFR survey results and the CFR standards worksheet.
Brainstorm about what we were seeing in the data, what that might mean, and also try to point us towards lines of evidence.
The third stage involved a launch event. It included interactive stations that informed stakeholders about the reaffirmation process, invited their participation in self-study work groups, and included specific questions at each station related to the CFRs.
We were actually getting some additional data on the CFRs through that mechanism.
We strategically scheduled the Stockton Center launch event to coincide with one of our busiest times on campus, so we have the greatest opportunity to engage students, faculty, staff, and our community.
The fourth stage involved work groups. Each gathered evidence related to the institution's performance on CFRs and reported discoveries to the WASC Steering Committee. The work of these groups informed the content of the institutional report.
We had several individuals that had skill sets in different areas that encompass parts of the entire WASC report. So the importance of having these work groups is to take the individuals that have a specialty in that area, find all of the raw data, and then help to contextualize it for me, who is the principal writer.
We actively, at first, sought out to gain campus involvement. We wanted to get a lot of diverse perspectives from students, from staff, from faculty. We quickly realized that we felt it would be more beneficial to kind of break that larger group down into more focused teams.
And it was intimate enough that we could get a lot of work done in a small amount of time.
So the meeting group reached out to several groups on campus to learn more about their part in student services.
Really, our job was to look at all the existing data.
We gathered that information, we summarized it, and we provided it to our principal writer.
So in this group, kind of the umbrella focus for the group was to look at how we evaluate student learning and progress, and then how I prioritize funding to then support student success.
Our work group was focused on 2 areas: educational effectiveness, and the institution's financial viability and sustainability.
So out of those two groups, we collected evidence, we reviewed the evidence, and after an interpretation of the evidence, then we fed that information back to the principal writer to then be integrated into the WASC report.
We had one of the largest work groups, and so that allowed for a wide representation of perspectives. We didn't have a clear definition of student success, which led the campus to engage in a process to clarify and define. And this was an outstanding outcome of our work group.
Student success, how we define it, how we evaluate it, and what it means to us as an institution.
There can be a lot of different ways of defining student successes, but I think it is important for us to pick what we can aim and what is the most important to our current students so they can be achieving what they wanted through their university education.
I would get together then with the leads of the work groups, and then we would go through their end of semester reports and we'd look at all the data, and then we try to figure out where it goes in. And if we see one of those really nice stories or some piece of evidence that really showcase what we do at Stan State, we'd highlight that and then we put that in the report.
The fifth stage involved tabling sessions in the quad, staged to ask stakeholders targeted follow-up questions based upon what had been discovered thus far in the self-study.
On Stockton and on the Turlock campus, we had some tables in high visibility locations like out in the quad.
Collectively, the self-study data informed the content of the report and informed what emerged as the university's strengths, challenges, and priorities moving forward. An extensive validation process of the institutional report was conducted, culminating with an affirmative vote by Academic Senate on May 8, 2018.
This documentary is turning out to be part of our self-study as we're learning things through this process, things that we hadn't anticipated. And it's really becoming quite a symbol of our slogan for our reaffirmation of accreditation: shared stories, continued success.